Hi everyone, and welcome to the Hermetic Shaman. My name is Jayme, and if you're new here, I am so glad that you have found your way to this space. If you are returning, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your continued support. Today's reading is a general collective message intended for anyone who feels drawn to it. As always, please take what resonates and gently release what doesn't. If you're interested in a personal reading or session, you'll find the link to my website in the description below. For those on TikTok, you'll find that right on my profile. And if this message supports you in any way, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and for those on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a reading. Alrighty y'all, let us begin. I call upon my full divine counsel in this sacred moment. Yahweh, eternal flame and sovereign creator. Elohim, divine architects of form and frequency. Sophia, holy mother of wisdom, womb, and word. Papa Legba, opener of the gates, keeper of the crossroads. Hecate, queen of witches, guardian of shadow and flame. Yeshua, ascended master of unconditional love and truth. My beloved ancestors of the blood, spirit, and stars. The archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, and the eternal light of my Lyran soul. Stand with me now. Surround this space in truth, clarity, and protection. Let every card reveal only what serves the highest path. Let falsehood fall. Let wisdom rise. May I be a clear vessel for divine messages. May my words honor both shadow and light. May no harm enter, no distortion pass through. I read as Flamekeeper, Priest, and Sovereign Starseed. I read with purpose, integrity, and divine permission. I open this reading in full trust and alignment. So it is, so it has always been, and so it shall be. Alrighty, y'all. When I was getting ready for this reading, I glanced at the time, and it was 3:52. But when I looked at it quickly, and I thought it said B52. So something here about, I believe it's the music group, the B-52s, that could be relevant for someone. Or something here about the B-52 bomber, which I believe is part of the Air Force. So that could be significant to someone, or I don't know, but that's what I got. So we're going to begin with the dice. Things might get a little loud for a hot minute, so if you're sensitive to sound, I do recommend lowering the volume. Universe. What is going on in collective energy? And what is it that the collective needs to know at this time? We have the Lovers reversed, the Five of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. This looks like a relationship here that is over. Somebody here is done. We also have the Ten of Swords right there. The Ten of Swords talks about an ego death. A dark night of the soul. You know, it's ripping our own blindfold off and seeing the truth and admitting the truth to ourselves. Somebody is realizing that something here isn't working out. This is like no longer being your own worst enemy, right? Somebody here is done trying to make something work. Maybe there's been a lot of tries here. And somebody here is done. They're getting out of their own way. This has to do with a dissolution of some kind of contract. Family, friend, lover, business. The Three of Cups. The party is over. It's not as good as we thought it was it once was. There's no more happy times. There's no more joy. There's no more peace. You know, with the Three of Cups upright, that's when you can let your guard down. But in the reverse, you have to feel guarded. You can't trust those around you. It's not so carefree. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody is realizing that they've been severely undermining themselves. Maybe this is somebody here who never recognized their value, didn't recognize their worth, and is like, wait, hold on, I deserve better than this. Somebody here is finally leaving behind a karmic contract. We have the Four of Wands. And somebody's receiving a lot of support during this process. The Five of Pentacles reversed is all about getting out of the cold and realizing that sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, like I said earlier. It's admitting defeat, but it's admitting defeat in a winning way is the best way that I can describe it. It's knowing that, you know what, I can't keep repeating something and expecting a different outcome. So something needs to change, and maybe it needs to be me. Maybe I need to eliminate myself from the equation. Because usually when it comes to that realization, we've already exhausted and tried everything. And it's not so much admitting defeat, but surrendering to the truth. Somebody here is surrendering to the truth. We have the Two of Pentacles here. This has to do with choosing where to invest and what to invest in. What future is going to lead to the greatest prosperity. The King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands is somebody here who's constantly in search of attention. This is somebody here who needs validation. This is someone here that needs you to hold their hand along the way. Strong masculine energy. Somebody who can be a little hot-headed, a little temperamental. Somebody who's always trying to keep up with everybody else. This is not somebody here who stands out, because the King of Wands upright stands out all on their own, but this is somebody here who is a carbon copy of whatever it is that they're trying to emulate. We do have the Ace of Swords. That's truth. That's clarity. It can no longer be hidden. See, and maybe this King of Wands was trying to keep this hidden from this Queen of Pentacles. Didn't want her to see her worth because he wanted somebody to hold his hand. And you guys can flip the roles depending on your situation and where the genders lie. We have the Hermit, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. Somebody here has done a lot of inner healing, a lot of inner work. Somebody here is finally ready to be emotionally honest with themselves and realize that something here is exhausting with the Ten of Wands. And somebody here is finally ready to drop that baggage. We have strength right there. Doing something that they once thought might have killed them. It's finding that inner strength. It's finding the willpower to persevere through the fear. And that's because truth will always weigh heavier than fear. There is going to be some kind of news. We have double fours here, 44. Whatever this news is, it's going to be emotional. And I think it's this Queen of Pentacles that's delivering it to the King of Wands. Of them saying that they're no longer interested in going forward. Or wanting to repeat something. Maybe this King of Wands is going to even try and want to come back and fix things, because that's often what happens in karmic loops. Somebody here is breaking the loop, or they broke the loop. And somebody here has a lot of support, and they're laying something to rest with this Four of Swords. It's dead and gone. Strong Leo, Gemini, Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn energy here. Universe, please tell us more. Something here about October 18th. We have the Six of Wands and the Ten of Cups. And the Four of Cups in the reverse. With the Seven of Cups. Somebody here has been extremely confused. Or at least they were. They no longer are, because it feels like somebody is finally choosing themselves with this Four of Cups reversed. It's like somebody is no longer trying to keep up with a... Maybe that was a problem in this karmic contract. Maybe people were trying to keep up. Maybe both people were. And maybe that was the trap in the illusionment that somebody fell for. And that's why they were underappreciating themselves. Because it almost feels like somebody here was following someone who's a bit of a joke. I mean, the King of Wands in the reverse is, to me, is a jester. Somebody trying to seek attention. Somebody you're willing to do tricks for attention. The Six of Wands in the verse talks about defeat, but this can also talk about surrendering. But this surrender leads to happiness. It leads towards wish fulfillment. It leads towards emotional dreams coming true. Somebody is surrendering now for a better, happier, more prosperous future. This is like a bittersweet moment. Something here is really difficult and really tough. Because I feel like this cycle, especially with the 10-10, maybe this could have been going on for 20 years. Actually, 10-10-10. We have 3 10s. 30 years, even. And sometimes part of an ego death is getting your priorities straight with what it is that you want to get out of life. The Devil reversed, the Eight of Pentacles. Something here is not working, or somebody here is not putting in any effort. And the Devil's reversed, broke free from something here that was toxic. Broke free from a toxic individual, but also broke free from the beliefs that we had that allowed us to even be attached in the first place. And the Five of Pentacles is reversed. You know, sometimes you can be in a relationship or with a group of people and still feel alone. And still feel like you're left out in the cold. But this is somebody that's surrendering, so that way they can get themselves out of the cold. Because they've been waiting for somebody to save them. And sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes we need to be our own hero. We have a Queen of Wands sideways. Somebody here is doing what is necessary in order to pick themselves back up. In order to fill their own cup. Because it has been barren and empty. Somebody here is gaining their confidence again. They're gaining their willpower. They're gaining their strength. And somebody here is definitely going to be standing out. You're going to be getting a lot of support. In the Wheel of Fortune. That's another 10. the wheels are turning in somebody's favor. And somebody is finally remembering the value that they have. This could even be... I did say something... This is definitely for... I don't think that whatever this reading is for, I don't think this reading is for, like, the collective. I think that this is what's happening to somebody around you, collective. Or it could be for some of y'all. But I feel like, because we've been picking up on a couple here that was working against you. And I feel like this is the dissolution of of that system that they had going. And somebody here finally, one person in that situation is finding their light again. This is karma playing out. You know, we talk about karma being bad, but karma is also a lesson. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. The Queen of Cups in the reverse is somebody here who lacks compassion. Somebody here who's very mean. We have one in the reverse and one upright. It's given, like, whoever this couple is, it's like somebody's realizing now that they only bring out the worst in each other. And that someone has allowed someone to bring out the worst in them. It's like somebody waking up and realizing they don't like who they've become. A Seven of Pentacles. Something here needs to change in order for there to be more growth. This is about reevaluating one's crops, right? Because he's getting ready to harvest for the season, and he's like, oh, I only have 7 pentacles, which is not bad. But he's like, but I want the 10 of pentacles. All right, what did I do this year? How did I plant my crops? And how did I tend to my garden so I can make adjustments so next year when I plant more seeds, I can get the full bloom or the full harvest of what I planted? How can I maximize my profits? Interesting, it's double 7. 77. Somebody here is making a different choice. That's going to lead them towards happiness and wish fulfillment. I don't think this King of Wands is going to be happy, because I think he's in his feminine energy with this Queen of Cups. I think that this is somebody here who's not balanced, not grounded, somebody whose emotions are all over the place, somebody who can be extremely selfish. It's giving like moonlighting, gaslighting, emotional manipulation at its finest. And if that doesn't work, then I'll apply fear and pressure and intimidation. I am gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alrighty, y'all. I am back. Universe, tell us more. Seven of Swords reversed. Whew. Somebody here is standing their ground, holding somebody accountable. Maybe somebody here has finally, you know, when you go within and you start asking questions, and you start doing that healing work within you, right, and you go through that dark night of the soul, you start realizing all of the lies that you've allowed yourself to believe. On how someone took advantage of your innocence for their own personal gain and pleasure. And maybe their own stability as well. Because like I said, somebody here wanted somebody to hold their hand. But this is somebody that is standing their ground, even against the opposition. So maybe this person was even trying to apply some kind of tactics and fear tactics, employing other people. Like maybe it could have been a masculine here who was like using their mother or family or something. I don't know. There was like a gang up and a team up here. It had something to do with a perception of some sort. But either way, somebody here is now being held accountable for actions that have happened in the past. We have a double 10, which is 20. Something here about 2020. Maybe 2020 was the tipping point? Or something happened in 2020 that set all this off? It set off a chain of events? Again, we have double sevens, 77. Somebody could have been born in 1977. And we have this Five of Pentacles reversed, the World reversed, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. Somebody does not want something to be over. And I feel like it's whoever this King of Wands is, because he's doing something. He's setting something into motion, very reckless, very impulsive. Someone's not thinking something through. This is somebody here who has lost their way and was trying to lead somebody down the wrong path in life, and now somebody here has opened up their eyes to that. That they put their faith and trust into a monster. We have the Two of Wands. This is all about choices. Choosing where to go next. Deciding our next moves. Planning it out. But something here is over and somebody is sticking to it. I feel like there could be a clash that is happening, because I feel like somebody here is going to try something to try and smooth things over within their own dynamic, but I feel like they're going to have the opposite effect, so... Because I feel like somebody in that relationship is standing firmly on the fact that it's dead and gone. And now somebody here has to sit with all of their lies and all their deceit because it didn't get them anywhere. And that's why they're going to lose out, while somebody else is going to gain, even though it may look like they're losing out in the beginning. Because I feel like somebody's going to be like, well, what is everybody going to think? What about the children? What about this? What about that? What about it? If there is a will, there is a way. We were meant to create our own realities. We have that power. And we don't have to settle to fear, because fear is the devil's work. Truth will always prevail. And sometimes truth can be a bitter pill to swallow. I don't think this reading is for everyone, but it's definitely for someone. Universe, tell us more. Karmic friends. Karmic friends, family, lovers, business. Can't fully trust them. Secret competition. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So this is somebody that doesn't even like you. And maybe that's what someone is coming to realization. Somebody here is moving, they're packing their things, it could be physically moving, and somebody here wants you to give them money. Because somebody here is winning the jackpot and somebody here is haunted by what has happened in the past. Maybe somebody here has also been trying to blackmail somebody. blackmailing them into staying? That could be one of the irrational things. Somebody who's just been trying to start drama. Drama keeps the feelings alive, right? And now somebody here wants to come in and kiss ass because somebody here is uninterested. And somebody here could have even been trying to cyberbully you, stalking you online. Maybe this person was trying to figure out what you were up to. Maybe creating fake accounts and leaving, like, negative comments under your pictures and stuff to, like, dishearten you, to make you not feel good about yourself. People have way too much time on their hands. You're moving on. Somebody here is moving on. And somebody here has done all of their reflecting work, being asked to move in silence as well. Somebody here is always partying. I mean, that's the King of Wands in the reverse. And with the Queen of Cups is somebody who can definitely, kick them back. Or knock them back, or whatever the hell the saying is. This is somebody who's very secretive. Always planning, always scheming, always plotting. Always have some kind of ulterior motive. And they're creeping. They're creeping, keeping an eye on you, knowing that you're moving. But they want you to give them money. That's all they want. That's all this person wants is money. Well, get off your ass and go get a job. 8 of Pentacles. If you want to live a certain life, then you better be able to provide that for yourself. It's also your right on this earth. It's your birthright, but don't expect other people to do it for you. That's when karma's going to come in, because now you're messing with somebody else's destiny. See, and that's what this person did, and that's what happens when you get into false commitments, false relationships based on just money. You screw yourself out of building the life that you want because you're capable of it, but instead you want to do it the easy way, and there's no easy way out in this life. The only way out is through. And what happens when you lie, when you get into a relationship with somebody else, whatever type of relationship that is, based on a lie, because you're trying to get something out of it, you're screwing with that person's destiny. And that's why judgment is here. Because somebody needs to pay for what it is that they have done. And maybe somebody has gotten away with this for too long, and they, you know, I feel like somebody here has been given many chances and many opportunities. I feel like the divine has given this person grace. I just heard the divine say, like, sorry, but it had to come down to this. It's like everything that somebody here has always built, their whole image, their empire, so to speak, is crumbling down. And somebody here is going bankrupt. Because somebody here is dodging bullets, blocking negativity, escaping crazy people. Somebody here could have an underlying mental health condition that they are unwilling to confront. And I feel like even then, like, somebody has enough understanding to be like, all right, I get it, but it comes to a point where it became debilitating. And somebody refused to confront it. Using scarcity tactics. Because again, it's about image, it's about appearance, it's about controlling the narrative, controlling the perception. It's kind of like living life while always constantly looking over your shoulder. Like, that's not fun. How can one live like that? Universe, please tell us more. We have stress. Turbulence. There's going to be some kind of arguments here. Like I said, somebody is trying to create some kind of stress. They want to try and create the situation here where somebody is going to feel conflicted. So it's like somebody, again, is trying to use something against someone. And I feel like that's what that fight is that I said earlier is going to be about. Somebody's purposely trying to make you feel conflicted. Like, what about, like, trying to use something against you? Like, what about the children? What about, you know, this? What about that? What, you know what I mean? It's like somebody is trying to find a cord to tug on. But somebody is standing firm in the fact that, you know what, I don't even care anymore. If there's a will, there's a way. You'll figure it out. Universe, tell us more. We have silence in the reverse. So, if there was silence, there's going to be a lot of words. This has to do with foundation. This has to do with the foundation here that has been built. It's because somebody is feeling like all of their security is being taken away from them. We have curse. It says hex, witchcraft, negative mind. Somebody could have even been trying to do illusion work to keep somebody trapped, to keep them confused through whatever medium they practice. Somebody was trying to distort and manipulate reality and get in the way of somebody's destiny. Somebody could have even been doing spell work, putting blood in people's food or whatever it is that you do, which is just nasty. Because somebody wants a second chance. They want a reconciliation. They want things to go back to how they were. They want to keep somebody entrapped in this web of lies. They want to keep somebody stuck. That's why somebody here is being held on the judgment for what they did, because of their pride, because of their arrogance. And now they're feeling sorry. Now they're feeling grief. Because they feel like everything is being taken away from them. They feel like they're being punished. They are being punished. And now somebody here is like, oh, now they're missing you because reality is sinking in. Because I feel like this time is different than all the other times. Reality is setting in. This could be a twin flame. Or this could be a false twin flame. Universe. We have the elusive, dishonesty, deception, trickery. Somebody's not standing for it anymore. Somebody has put up boundaries. They drew the line. They have said enough is enough. They're saying no. They have a different perspective now. They're better off. And somebody here is trying to blackmail them. The blackmail's not working. They're trying to tug on a cord. That's not working. Somebody could be even trying to... Somebody could even be cursing. Like, there could be a lot of swearing and fighting and arguing. And I feel like somebody is just not even feeding into it. And that's because reality is now sitting in for the other person. Like, fuck. They don't even want to fight with me anymore. Like, they really don't care. No. They don't. The answer is no. Not anymore. Not like this. They're done. It's like somebody here has officially become allergic to it. It's like somebody woke up and has a new allergy. Like, I just can't. I'm allergic to you in this situation. And somebody is done just... I wanted to say done being medicated, in a sense, by this person's lies and trickery and false, empty promises. Universe, tell us more, please. Twin flames. Until debt tears us apart. There's a false flame or a karmic relationship here that is coming to an end. Something here it's been dragged out. I don't think it should have gone on as long as it did. That's why I think somebody here is being heavily put under judgment. It says restrictions, adversity, structure, learning, karmic lessons, maturity. Somebody here is definitely matured. And they're not willing to pay the price anymore in order to keep something afloat that it's already served its purpose. And the purpose was to show somebody how much they're worth and how much value they hold. But somebody kept trading that in because of the lies, because of the deceit. External party and control. So somebody has been trying to control somebody, but yet still trying to have other partners. Somebody was using people on the outside. Karmic partner, family, friends, work, other people, obligations. Oh, well, in my family we do this, or, you know, my mom treats my dad like this, or I don't know what this is. It's very manipulative and delusional. All for control. Mood swings. Trust issues. This could be somebody here who has trust issues, and that causes them to have mood swings, causes them to create conflicts. Maybe this person's always in conflict with somebody else. Or this is somebody that keeps people on the back burner, so, like, if something's not it wasn't working out with you, they were okay because they could just go to somebody else to get that validation, the attention that they want. And then, when they get caught off by that person or when things are not working out well, then they have another person on the back burner. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're just moving, cycling through people. We have union, soulmate energy, and temptation. This person's going to try and tempt you back into a union for control, to do the same thing all over again, because they need to have all of their pots on the stove. They need to have them all ready. So this person can jump from pot to pot. We have North Node, and we have closed off. Somebody wanted you closed off. Somebody never wanted somebody here to get into their North Node. Yeah, one night stand. Somebody could even be tempting you with sex to get back in. They're like, you know what, let me go give them a great night. And it's like, dude, like, no. They don't want somebody here to follow their destiny. They don't want destiny to unfold as it was written. They're trying to resist because of their pride. And this is somebody who's going to act like a wounded warrior. Somebody here who always acts like the world is mounting pressure on them. But that's because they don't have any other options, because they've exhausted the other pots. The other pots are empty. They need to wait for the other pots to fill up before they can jump back into that pot, and they see that your pot is full. This is somebody who has a lot of doubts. They don't want to be lonely. They don't want to be lonely, but they also don't want to love on themselves. I left the Ace of Fire behind on accident, but something here about a brand new beginning. A brand new passionate start. It can't be evaded much longer. It's like somebody was trying to subvert Divine's will. Whoever this monster is. And I feel like this is the monster that has been plaguing your life collective. And now somebody around them has also just woken up. So it's like they lost you, and now they're going to lose that other person. So everything is slowly being taken away from them. Universe. Tell us more. Okay, that was way too many. Something about a cold case is being solved. And whatever this cold case is, like maybe the person that's leaving the monster was probably helping the monster come after you based on a lie that they had told them. You know? And that could be the cold case that's being solved. This person realizing that maybe collective is never the enemy, and that they were actually really sleeping with the enemy the whole time. Because you were never the cause of something. You were always the scapegoat. Guilty conscience. Feeling of unease or discomfort arising from the belief that one has done something wrong or immoral, responsibility or regret for actions or inactions that contradict one's own moral standards or the exceptions of others. Somebody has a guilty conscience. They violated their own moral standards, and they were complicit. That's everything I just said with that cold case. Thank you, Spirit. Involved with others in an illegal activity or wrongdoing, knowing about a crime or activity that is wrong but doing it anyway. Now they're having a guilty conscience. And now somebody is guarded and closed off. They're acting emotionally unavailable, being evasive. Wow, somebody could use verbal intimidation, raising their voice, using threats, name-calling, or insults. Somebody is now being interrogated, being asked to tell the truth, this repeat offender, about how somebody could have been using a fake ID, or how this repeat offender has been faking their own identity. Somebody who was intentionally, deliberately disguising things in order to entangle you and entrap somebody. You got free from the red tape. You broke free from their web of lies. And everybody watched you do it. And now everybody also is trying to escape as well. This person has... The monster is a hothead. Anger management. Temper tantrum. Secrets are being exposed here. Secrets are being exposed. Somebody here had hidden motives and intentions. This person who's closed off and guarded. Somebody here is snitching. That's why the secrets are being exposed. Somebody here was trying to be controlled opposition. Oh, some kind of truth is coming out. Some secrets are being exposed. Somebody's being interrogated. Maybe it's this snitch who's finally coming clean. Maybe somebody's going to snitch because they're going to feel the pressure. They're going to crumble underneath the weight of the interrogation. All because of somebody's pride. They care more about how they look. Very image-based. Very stubborn. Abusing authority, misuse of power or position to unfairly benefit oneself or others, or to cause harm to those in subordinate positions. Somebody or abuse their authority. They viewed people as underneath them, and they could do whatever the hell they want to do. They could appear to be however they want to appear. So somebody here who falls for their own lies. Skipping steps, cutting corners. Somebody here is under surveillance because of a rat. Because somebody ratted and snitched them out. And they could even be being picked up and being interrogated. This monster. Something here was caught on camera, photo or video. Somebody's greed, trying to create a riot here. Trying to have people riot up against you, collective. But now this person is losing their own partner in crime. Even their own people are turning backs on them. Because now the secrets are being exposed. About how somebody here was obsessed and bothered by you. And they really bet their whole life on you. But they're the ones that have to end up paying up. Because now they're going to be alone. And now they're upset and sad that they went up against you. But why create a false identity? Somebody could have even gone as far as to even do things here. Create like fake profiles of you or something. To try and tarnish your image. Because maybe you were a threat to their whole empire. This person is entitled, feeling that they have the right to do or have what you want without having to work for it or deserve it just because of who you are. This is somebody here who's entitled. They feel like because of who they are, because of what they've been through, that wounded warrior, attitude, that they feel like they're entitled to do whatever the hell they want and act however the hell they want. And not have any authenticity. We're going to close this out with an oracle. Universe. Please give us a final message for the collective. We have number 12, childlike expression. And I just flipped the page right to it. Thank you, Spirit. In truth, within every soul exists an aspect known as the inner child. You can champion your inner child's emotional life by listening carefully to what you need and want in your own heart. You may have been taught to give up on your own desires for the sake of others. This is not necessary. Ganesha is bringing the guidance that not acknowledging your desires and needs takes away from your life force and defeats your spirit. As a child, you are a sensory expert. It is now time to re-stimulate your inner child's ability to look, listen, touch, and explore the world in order to reconnect with you and your emotions. Practice trusting your inner knowing or senses. Give your inner child love and a voice. Express your true feelings. Connect deeply to yourself on an emotional level by allowing all of your uncomfortable feelings to reach the surface of your awareness and be seen and experienced. Find patience and joy in simple things. Take a step away from acquiring material things and take pleasure in the wisdom of your own soul. Love, respect, and honor your inner child. Allow time for play in whatever mode that pleases you, be it socializing, singing, yoga, traveling, taking a walk, dancing, meditating, or writing. This is how your inner child operates. It knows no boundaries, holds no expectations, and loves unconditionally. You are free to play again, collective. And this person is too busy paying up. This monster. But that is what I have for y'all today. I am sending you all lots of love and lots of light. And I will see you next time. Ciao.